Good morning, and thank you for joining today's training session on Diamond. We hope that by the end of this session, that this version of Diamond is not just a girl's best friend, but everyone's best friend. My name is Nancy Obando, Senior Vice President of Strategic Products and Affordable Housing. And joining me today is our fabulous trainer, Angela Pisciata, and the Strategic Products team, Kathy Galt and Tammy Gastra. Presenting and available for Q&A is Barbara Burton. Barbara is the RSM for Gateway First Bank and has more than 15 years experience in the mortgage banking industry. She manages lender relationships based out of California and Arizona. Barbara has gained extensive experience in the HFA, DPA bond markets over the past 2 years, where Gateway First Bank is the master servicer. She prides herself in exceeding clients' expectations by being proactive, hands on, innovative, and adding value as a trusted partner. Barbara resides in Southern California with her family. Presenting, we have Dan Gwen, who is the program administrator for GSFA and has been working in affordable housing for the last 17 years. He is responsible for the day-to-day operations of the GSFA program, including program training, processing of borrower and lender applications, and general client support services. He is based in Sacramento, and in his free time, he enjoys traveling, food, the outdoors, and may I add, working with Mountain West Financial. Dan, the floor is yours.
Thanks, Nancy. I can't believe it's been 17 years. That's almost half my lifetime. So my name again is Dan with National Home Buyers Fund. I'm going to be your presenter today as we go through the Diamond product that we are offering through Mountain West Financial. Next slide. So today's agenda is going to be going over the product in detail. The goal is to make everyone comfortable with the program in general, and then down payment assistance programs as a whole. We know that oftentimes people are sometimes hesitant to use these programs, and so we want to make sure that when we're done with this call, everyone understands how the program works, they're comfortable. And to do that, we're going to be going through 5 different parts. We're going to begin by talking about the advantages and the benefits of the Diamond product. Then we're going to go over some eligibility guidelines, talk about the first mortgage and the down payment assistance options, turn over to the loan process, which is actually really simple. And then we're going to end by showing you guys how you guys can start offering this product to your customers. Next slide, please. So in my time with National Home Buyers Fund, which started back in 2004, I have been around for, I think, 2 housing crashes now. And so I've heard every excuse under the sun back when everyone was doing subprime stated income stuff. And even now, I hear excuses about why people don't want to use down payment programs. And what I find is oftentimes those excuses are misguided or just misunderstandings on what these programs are all about and what they can actually offer in terms of value to your customers. People often think that the programs are limited to certain areas or that the borrowers have to be low income first time buyers, that they aren't allowed to use their own money, that they have to have exceptional credit to qualify, that the programs are harder to qualify for, and my personal favorite is that the programs take longer to close. What you will discover when you look into the Diamond program is that these things don't apply to what we do. And so if you have any kind of hesitancies with regards to using these types of products, please be aware and please be comfortable in understanding that, when we're done with the call, you'll probably realize that what is holding you back probably isn't accurate. And so we want to make sure that you guys are comfortable in making this product available to your customers. Next slide, please. So the people that are going to be responsible for making this program available is National Home Buyers Fund, also known as NHF, is the program sponsor. This program is serviced by Gateway Mortgage Group, which means that once your loans are closed, they will be sold to Gateway, and the borrowers will eventually be making payments to Gateway. And then our lender partner for this product is Mountain West Financial. Currently, the program is available in Arizona, Utah, and Oregon, and we are going to be in the process of adding additional states as they become available. Next slide. So the first thing that we want to make sure that everyone is clear on is how the structure of this product works. The way that the Diamond program is set up is it's providing a first mortgage that comes with down payment assistance. That means that the home buyer is actually going to qualify not for a regular Mountain West loan or not for a regular FHA loan, but they're going to qualify for a Diamond first loan. And with that Diamond product, they're going to have access to options for down payment and closing cost assistance. There's going to be actually a variety of options available, and once you see the pricing for the product, you'll see what I mean. And as far as the program requirement itself goes, there's no first-time home buyer requirement. That means that the borrowers are able to own other property now or have owned other property in the past. As long as they can qualify for a loan today under the program, they can still use it. There's no minimum required borrower investment. The funds that we provide as part of the program through NHF can actually go towards their down payment as well as their closing costs. And depending on how the program is structured, there are going to be instances where buyers can actually get into a home with little to no money out of pocket. There's no sales price limits for the program as well. And then one area where I think we set ourselves apart from other programs by other agencies is with regards to income limits. This program actually provides very generous income limits that can actually help you guys qualify more borrowers and get a larger piece of the market. As far as interest rates themselves go, those are going to be provided to you directly from the servicer. You'll probably have an internal place you can go to get the rates on a daily basis. Just remember that when you lock the first, you're automatically reserving the DPA funds at the same time. As far as the process itself goes, you guys are going to be issuing a full disclosure package on the first, which is the same process you would do on any standard first mortgage product. And then you will be delegated to do all of the underwriting on your own. There's no review or compliance being done by National Home Buyers Fund or by Gateway Mortgage Group. And just be aware that Mountain West is going to be accepting locks for this program from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. As far as the structure of the assistance goes, the way that the DPA is going to be set up is it's going to be a combination of a second mortgage and gift funds. So right now we are making available up to 6.5% available in down payment assistance, which is going to be calculated as a percentage, whatever you end up choosing, of your final first loan amount, which most cases would include your upfront MIP. The first part of the assistance is going to be a second mortgage. So every transaction that has assistance is going to have a second loan sized at 2%. The second loan has no payments, no amortization, it's deferred, and it'll be due and payable whenever the first is paid off or refinanced. With that second, if the borrower wants to get access to additional funds, they can, and those additional funds would be gift funds. And so the additional 4.5% is available in gift funds, meaning that it's forgiven immediately. There's actually no requirement to ever pay it back. And that's how you get to the total of the 6.5%. It's the 2% second with the 4.5% gift. Just make sure that when you do lock your loans, that the amount of your loan itself, as well as the DPA, should match what's on your closing disclosures. Anytime you guys have any corrections to your loan amounts, you want to make sure that you do notify Gateway for them to update their system so that we can get the correct information in our system for your loan amounts. Otherwise, you're going to have some issues getting those loans purchased. As far as what the funds can be used for, we don't actually have a list of what you can and cannot use the funds for. As long as you're using the funds for down payment and closing costs, that's all that we really care about. In terms of the funds at closing, you guys will be providing the DPA funds on our behalf at closing. And on your disclosures, you'll want to make sure that you list it as NHF second mortgage. And then if you're taking advantage of the gift funds, also have a separate line item for NHF gift. Because they are separate, you do want to make sure that you have them broken down separately on your CD. And then most importantly, when Gateway buys these loans from you, they will reimburse you for the outstanding balance of your first mortgage as well as the DPA. I think the best way to kind of bring home the point and kind of show you guys how the program is beneficial is just to give you some quick numbers, because numbers kind of make it easy for everyone to follow along with. So the first things that we want you guys to see is that as far as rates go, the Diamond program does a great job of being competitive with the market. There are, in some cases, options where we don't provide any kind of assistance, but we just provide really low interest rates on the first. In this case, this example, I think, was from back in, I want to say April or May, where our rates were very close to the market rate on an FHA loan with no assistance. In this case, we're looking at our rate of 3% versus the market rate of 2.99. I'm aware that rates have changed recently, but the main reason why we want to show you this example is because we want to show you the impact of down payment assistance. So if you look down in the middle part of your screen, you'll see that there's an NHF Diamond Second of 2%, which is just under $4,000 because it's calculated from your loan amount, not your sales price. And then there's also an additional Diamond Gift of 2%, which is the same amount, which brings your total assistance just under $8,000. What that means is that if this transaction were to go through, your borrower is not going to be required to bring any money in for down payment. And by getting a 4% DPA, they're actually going to have a few $100 left over to go towards their closing costs. In this case, just under $900. Now, depending on your borrower's situation, if they had some of their own funds, this is going to be a great example of them getting into a home with little to no money out of pocket. If they didn't have any of their own money, they could also take advantage of more assistance, leaving them more money to go towards their closing costs, and so they can truly get into a home with no money out of pocket. It just depends on how you guys structure the product and what the borrower is qualified for. We don't want to get in the habit of having a one-size-fits-all program, and so we do break down the assistance in 0.5% increments. That way you are able to, tailor the structure to a specific borrower, and you can kind of, have the program fit that borrower's needs rather than have the borrower fit the program. Next slide. So we're going to go ahead and move on now and talk about eligibility guidelines. In terms of eligible mortgages, these are all going to be FHA first mortgages that are 30-year fixed rate and fully amortizing. Just make sure that you are following your loan agency guidelines when it comes to underwriting. The loan limit for the program is going to be the lesser of $548,250 or your county limit. So what that would mean is that if your county is a high cost area, you're still going to be limited to the $548,250. If you happen to be in a lower cost area where your FHA loan limits are lower than $548,250, you're going to be bound by the lower. So just make sure that you're aware of that. And then as far as the DTIs, this is actually one area where I think we're going to help you guys help more borrowers qualify. Because with this product, you can go up to a 55% DTI as long as you have an AUS approval. I think a lot of programs out there are probably capped at 43 or 45. And if you are planning to manually underwrite, just note that you are going to be limited to a 43% DTI if you are manually underwriting. As far as minimum credit score, this is actually going to be another area where I think the program is going to set itself apart. Your borrowers can have FICO scores that go all the way down to 620. Each borrower must have a minimum of one score, but 620 is going to be pretty down there, so you're going to be able to capture more borrowers. I think a lot of programs out there now require 640, 660, and in some cases even 680. But with the Diamond program, borrowers can go down to 620. There are no asset limits or reserve requirements with an AUS approval. If you do, again, manually underwrite, it does require 2 months of PITI. And then just to kind of make sure that the buyers utilizing our programs are aware of the responsibilities of home ownership, we are requiring that at least one borrower receive housing counseling if all borrowers are first-time home buyers. And that counseling can come from any agency. Eligible properties are owner-occupied single-family residences, 1 unit only. That can include agency-approved condominiums, which we do allow for spot approvals, and then also PUDs, and you can also do townhouses. What we don't allow are co-ops, no rental, investment, recreational, vacation, or second homes, no manufactured housing, no multi-units, and no properties with deed restrictions. As I mentioned earlier, income limits is going to be another area where the program is going to be very flexible. We look at qualifying income only, which is the income you guys put on your FHA underwriting and transmittal summary. And as far as how you guys calculate income, there's not going to be any specific criteria for methodology coming from National Homebuyers Fund. It's strictly how you guys calculate income as long as you're following your appropriate loan guidelines. As far as the limits themselves go, this is kind of where it's unique. We don't actually list our income limits anywhere. Where you're going to want to go is you're going to want to go to the HUD website. The HUD has a data set where you can pull the state median as well as a local area or county median. And basically what you're going to do is whichever number is bigger, you're going to take 160% of that as the limit for the program. Why this is nice is because if you're in a high cost living area and your area median is bigger than the state, you can use the area median to do the calculation. On the flip side, if you're like in a lower cost area where your area median is lower than the state, you can still use the state median and multiply that by 160%. And by doing so, this allows you to capture, conservatively, probably at least 80% of the borrowing public, because the income limits, again, are going to be very flexible in allowing you to use the larger of your state or your area median. And again, you can find that data on the HUD user website. There's a data set that allows you to either select the state or the county to find what the income limits are for that jurisdiction. Next slide. So how you guys get paid is this is a borrower paid product. That means you guys can charge the borrowers up to 2% in origination. The breakdown is basically 1.5 goes to the office and half percent goes to the corporate. No discount points are allowed. Other closing costs like your underwriting fees, your doc prep fees, your processing fees, those are all okay as well, as long as you are following your loan guidelines for disclosures and any kind of limits that they might have in terms of closing costs. Next slide, please. Now, the process flow is actually one area where we make this program really simple. We're not going to make you jump through hoops. You don't send us anything to review. We do not delay the actual process itself because there's no involvement from us. And so you guys are able to close a loan as quickly as you would like. The way that we imagine that the process would happen is that you would pre-qualify your borrower for the Diamond program because you know what the income, the credit, and the DTI requirements are. And then the rates are available to you guys on a daily basis. When you're ready, Mountain West is going to lock the loan and the DPA with Gateway. And remember again that when you lock the loan, the DPA funds are reserved at the same time. It's just one simple process. And then our system, the NHF reservation portal, will generate for the lender the commitment and funding letter, the partial exemption disclosure, and the second note will be available usually within 24 hours, if not sooner, because we are getting the data sent to us from Gateway. Next slide. This is just a screenshot of what the funding letter looks like. Really important to remember that the dollar amount on there for the loan, the DPA, needs to match whatever you guys have on your disclosures. Otherwise, there's going to be some issues at purchase. And so again, if you guys have any corrections that need to be made, please make sure to check them before your loan funds. That way we can get everyone on the same page with the correct numbers at closing. Now, remember that the locks themselves are good for 30 days. And because there is no pre-compliance review from us, that should be plenty of time to get those loans closed. You guys, again, are fully delegated to do everything. That includes underwriting, approving, closing, and funding of the loans, and you will deliver the closed loans to the servicer. Make sure that when you do, that you do include the funding letter as well as the second loan docs. And then obviously Gateway will purchase all complete and correct loans. We do not anticipate the need for extensions, but if you need them, they are allowed. There's 3 that are allowed, and there's 4 options. There's the 1 to 3 days, the 4 to 7, the 8 to 15, and the 16 to 30 days. But in most cases, because these loans are usually locked closer to loan approval and loan docs, this shouldn't be an issue, but if you need them, they are available. And currently, there are no cancellation fees. It really is important that if you have any modifications, you get them done as soon as possible with Gateway. That way they can send us the updated information to populate for the DPA documents. Remember, again, we do get data from Gateway multiple times a day, usually 3 to 4 times a day. And so there is regular updating, but because the data is being transferred from one entity to another, please do remember that in rare cases, it may take up to 24 hours, but usually it's a lot quicker than that. So at the end of the day, the reason why we like the NHF Diamond program is that we're providing the home buyer access to up to 6.5% in assistance. That's money that they can use to get into a home now, build equity now, rather than having to wait to save up for that down payment and closing cost. It's a very flexible product because they don't have to be a first-time home buyer. FICOs can go as low as 620, DTIs can go up to 55%. And so borrowers in some cases can actually purchase homes with little money out of pocket or no money at all. For you guys as a lender, this is just a great selling tool. Mountain West has always been a supporter of down payment programs. This is just one more tool in that lending toolkit, which is the ability to offer down payment programs in a variety of other states. It's a very flexible product. It may be combined with other non-lien programs. And then if you guys are able to help more borrowers qualify, you guys can close more loans, which is what everybody wants to do. So at this time, am I turning it over now to Nancy?
I think there's one more slide after this
Okay,
one.
sure. So you guys are already an approved lender to offer the program. Mountain West is going to have their own internal process and procedure already set up. And so it's going to be really easy for you guys to get involved. Make sure that you refer to your AMP for full program details and processes. Mountain West has marketing materials as well for the program. You guys can start marketing the program and start closing loans with the Diamond product. So our mission has always been to provide responsible homeownership. I'm very happy to know that we have a negligible, non-existent default rate over the last, 28 years. And our programs, because we are working with standard mortgages, but making them better by giving the borrower access to down payment and closing cost help, we're able to ensure that the borrowers are actually qualified, able to make the monthly payments and keep their homes. We are going to be following, with very few exceptions, standard underwriting guidelines. And so these programs should be really easy for you guys to use because you guys are definitely already experts on loan underwriting. And because we are working with, again, FHA mortgages, we're not reinventing the wheel. We are kind of promoting and encouraging a source of sustainable homeownership through offering these down payment programs. And with that, I will go ahead and turn it over to Nancy.
So give us a second. There are some technical difficulties right now.
Hi, Nancy. We don't have audio.
Okay, I'll go ahead and I could go ahead and speak through the microphone. I apologize for that. If my words and my lips don't match, it's okay. We did that on purpose. Go ahead and play the video. So, Dan, thank you so much for that presentation. I understand that down payment assistance may not always be the best option for all of your clients. However, it is for some. I invite you to rethink your qualification process and or denial strategy. Analyze your pre-qualifications, declined apps due to cash to close or tight ratios, and consider reducing your loan to value by utilizing a DPA like Diamond. Save your borrowers cash to close by using a DPA, and instead, they can now use their cash for home repairs. Inputting your loan isn't much harder either. You will follow standard loan procedures. If you are unsure what your standard loan procedures are, please consult with your AE. You may also use our intranet where all your resources are housed. Let me show you how easy it is to navigate the system. While in the intranet, you do have a wholesale option. If you click on the wholesale link, you will see that bulletins and guidelines will populate. You click on guidelines, and from there, general information and products and programs are available for you. If you click into products and programs, you will find even more detailed information on our products, not just on Diamond, but how to's on all of our products. Now, the AMP system that Dan was referring to earlier is also here. Here, you could look at our affordable housing loan programs, aka AMP, and here you'll house all of our down payment assistance programs, not just Diamond. Here you could select program type, active. You could click on search. For illustration purposes, I've clicked Diamond, of course, and you click on Find. And if you click on the program name, the program matrix populates. Here you'll find all the detailed information that we have on Diamond. We've discussed it today, but you can find even more information here. Now, remember that in the taskbar, this does move from left to right, where you can find even more information on the product. Well, that is it for today. Please feel free to reach out to us if you have any questions or your AEs. Our email is strategicproducts@mwfinc.com. Thank you so much for your time, and I cannot wait to help you close some more loans. Make it a great day.